Alright, what's up YouTube? What's up Burbnest? What's up everyone? So I've decided to start the stream a little bit early because I'm seeing a great setup and the price just pumped right into my entry. So let's just dive right in, guys. Welcome to the stream. Sorry if I'm a bit early, but I will upload a replay for you guys if you're missing anything. So we're gonna take a look at Bitcoin USD and I'm gonna show you the setup that I've just entered right now. So that's the reason for me to start the stream a little bit early. Alright, so let's go. Alright, so here we are, we're looking at BTC USD on Bitstamp first. So what I've been looking for here right now, first off I'm gonna take a look at the trade that I took yesterday. Very bad trade. Well, not a bad trade, I mean I had a decent setup, but it was getting late. I'm on this fucking weird diet, you know. I'm eating basically no calories. I'm like I tell you guys often, I'm pretty much partially retarded when I'm doing this diet thing, and also tired. So when I'm stressed and tired, and it's happening like a massive FA or news event, like the Fed pretty much showing its card and full panic yesterday, I took a long on this pump here. So the idea was basically I think it looks something like this, right? I wanted to long the first retest of the I think I had my stop somewhere in that region here. I wanted to long the first retest of range high and target this area up here basically. So I got stopped out and small risk, small position, small risk. Shit happens, right? Bad trade, and the reason for it being a bad trade, that this was so obviously a fake out on the hourly here. So the correct move would have been to wait for I think, just looking at even the 15-minute here was bad. I wanted to see like a open and close above. So if I had like 1 hour open and close above here, that would probably be a decent trade. So the trade that I've just entered here is this one, right? So I'm looking at something like this. Actually, I'm not sure. This one isn't really correct. So this is basically, the idea here is to long. I think it's better shown on this chart actually. So I wanted to do the same thing down here as I did up here, but I wanted to wait for a hourly open and close below range EQ. I would then short the retest of range EQ down for a move into range low, right? So that's the idea here, right? Let's see. So I've entered, I had some bids in here. Obviously I won't show you like my account because I don't think I should do that, but I entered on this move up. The idea is to catch a move down to range low. So where do I want to have my stop loss on this one? This was very quick, so I didn't really plan my trade perfectly. I had to use a bit lower leverage to make sure that I wasn't gonna fuck it all up, right? So what I'm looking at right here is a stop loss around 5.2. Could even be lower down here, but around 5.2 for a stop loss on this one. I will be monitoring this one live on the stream if in case it actually moves up. So that's the idea I'm watching right now. As you can see here, we broke range EQ to the downside. I'm then looking for a first retest of range EQ for a move down to what I've got drawn as range low. I mean, this range isn't really perfect, but I'm liking it, right? So you have the idea here with drawing this range was basically this was the low down here after this powerful move down. So I want to use that as the range low, and then the first high the first swing high after the bounce, which is this one right here, also confluent with this area here, the old consolidation area here. So I'm liking this range, and you can also notice that we're getting a lot of wicks through range high. We're get a couple of fake outs here and this fake out here. So I'm seeing a lot of, you know, if price can manage to break above range high here and trade, like if we get a breakout here, I think the move will be, you know, pretty powerful. Right now I'm obviously bearish because I'm short, and I'm not really interested in entering Bitcoin, and the reason for that is basically, I mean, look at god damn guys, this is not looking beautiful. This is not looking beautiful. It's not really the picture of health, and yeah, it's not. This is we closed below the 200 simple on the weekly. I mean, if we, for some magical reason, closes this weekly above the 200 simple, I guess you could say that this, you know, it's a fake out on the weekly, right? But still, I'm not liking this price action. I mean, this is not really, I don't want to be buying this, right? So where's the next major area? Well, it's quite obvious here, right? We have... for me, it's this area here, right? Around 3K. This is the next major support that I'm watching. You also have the area right here, these lows here that I will be watching. Let's draw a horizontal right here. So around, let's say, where is it? Around 3.7, well, 3.6 more likely. So yeah, 3.662, I got that one on. And right between this support here, this minor support, and this major support here, we have the 377. I think it's should be the, let's see, yeah, it's the 377 EMA on the weekly. So we will most likely see a bounce down here, but is this the bounce and continuation that we have been waiting for? I mean, if we break down from current prices, we will most likely see this area acting as a magnet, right? But will we see a bounce and continuation? I mean, we will most likely see a bounce, but the question is, will we see a continuation? And that's, I mean, for me, this is the area that needs to hold, really. This is pretty much, in my opinion, I mean, we might see a wick down to like this area on the weekly, but this is the, I'd say between around 3K is the last, like the last line of defense for Bitcoin, basically. So what I'm thinking when looking at the global markets and like the whole Corona hype and everything, I'm thinking we might say we level out in about 8 weeks, and I'd say that the market might stabilize itself in about, I'd say, 2 to 3 months. I'm not really seeing Bitcoin being very bullish until that happens, right? So I would think that we might actually, like, we might get this type of price action. We'll trade between these levels for, you know, a couple of months, and that could be really good price action if you're a trader. If you're an investor, well, I would just start averaging down here and watch this 3K level very carefully. If we break this 3K level right here, and especially like if we go down and break 2K, I just, you know, exit crypto, to be honest. But if you're a long-term investor, this level down here, like this area here, right, is probably a very attractive buy for Bitcoin for the long run. But you got to be careful, right? Because as soon as we start closing like weeklies below 3K, that area, that's going to be very dangerous, very, very dangerous. And you don't want to be stuck holding a lot of Bitcoin bags when Bitcoin is trading below 3K. So basically what I'm saying, if you're a trader, you can probably put in some scalps here with the bounces that we will most likely get. But if you're an investor, you gotta be very careful. You gotta be very, very careful. In my opinion, like, I'm not in Bitcoin right now. because it should be pretty obvious, right? Why am I not a Bitcoin? Well, we are in a downtrend. So do you want to buy or do you want to sell in a downtrend? Well, obviously you want to be selling in a downtrend and you want to be buying in an uptrend. And we broke the uptrend up here, right? So where would we break the downtrend? Well, I would say that to be very conservative, right, and to be very safe, I'd say we need to start trading above 6,000 again to be, like, for me to be buying another uptrend. Because right now what we're seeing here is lower highs and lower lows, and when you're seeing lower highs and lower lows, that means you're in a downtrend. And it's so simple. It's so simple. You want to follow the trend, right? Now I see a lot of people in the Nest Club chat and everywhere, they're talking about they want to buy a bottom, right? They like that, they're looking at the chart and they're saying like, oh wow, it's so cheap, right? It's so cheap. I'm gonna buy down here. Well, like, yeah, sure, it looks pretty good. I mean, you have this area down here and it looks pretty good for a buy, right? But guys, like, when I started trading, I made a lot of mistakes, and trying to catch a falling knife was definitely one of the most common mistakes I did, right? So the more experienced I became, I started looking at the chart and I started becoming more patient, and I started waiting for an actual trend to emerge. Right now we're having a downtrend. That means you want to short the bounces, and you want to, if you are in BTC, you want to hedge, you want to short as an hedge against your spot BTC exposure. I'm not in BTC right now at all, so I'm looking to short the bounces. But if we start trading, like if we'll see price action like this, see, we reclaim range EQ, we reclaim range high, we bounce up and we reclaim this green box right here, then what do we have? Well, we have higher lows and we have higher highs. That's an uptrend. That's when you want to be looking to buy, because I'm definitely okay to miss out on, like, let's say 25% profit. I'm definitely okay to miss out on 25% of the potential profit if we are going up here, right? So let's say Bitcoin goes up, let's say 25%, right? And you're gonna tell yourself like, oh my god, I missed a 25% pump. But let's say you enter on an actual uptrend and you'll gain, 60% up to these highs up here. And if you believe a Bitcoin is going to all-time highs, well, then, missing out on 25% to gain 188% is all right? So you gotta be patient. You gotta wait for the trend to emerge. That's so very important. I see a lot of people that they just keep on buying. They're like, oh, well, price is going down, so I'm gonna buy. Well, like, yeah, it's becoming cheaper, but there's no way, like, there's nothing that says Bitcoin will go up. I mean, nobody knows, right? Like, most likely Bitcoin will go up, but you never know, right? So instead of just trying to catch the bottom, try to wait for the bottom to actually present itself. And how does the bottom look? Well, the bottom doesn't look like this, right? This. You don't want to be buying something like this, dudes. Like, don't be stupid. Like, how does the bottom look like? Well, you get, like, this is the bottom, right? So you want to be buying when you have actual bullish market structure. And I try to look for bullish market structure on the daily, and sometimes also on the 4 hour if I'm looking for a more short-term trade. Actually, let's see, maybe I should take some profits on this one. So right now it should be let's see, where's this one? Yeah, I should probably take some profits on this short. I'll just wait a minute and I'll do that after the stream. So what I'm saying here is where were I? All right. So yeah, you want to see bullish market structure on the daily, on or the 4 hour, depending on your time frame, like your preferred time frame or how you like to trade, and you know, all that stuff. Again, is this an uptrend? No, it's not an uptrend. This is like very clear downtrend. Let's look at the 1 hour here. So on the 1 hour, at least let this level clear first. Wait for price to trade out of this range for the first sign of potential break in market structure. When we break out of that range, I mean, I've got this green box up here, which should be red because it's resistance now. And I'm gonna show you, this is also the RLC of this latest bull market, right? So this will most likely act as a strong level, 350 I think it is, right? So that's actually up here is the midpoint of the RLC of this latest up move. So we're seeing a lot of confidence in this area. We'll most likely, let's see, where do we have the moving averages? Well, we ain't really seeing any moving average right there yet. If we range here for a couple of weeks, the 200 EMA will probably be down in this area. Let's see on a 3-day, 2-day. Well, like, so the moving averages ain't really giving us much right here, but the reason for that being is that this drop was so strong that like the moving averages is obviously like a lagging indicator, so we'll have to wait a while for price to actually come down. Well, not price, well, the moving averages obviously. So what am I talking about? God damn, I keep forgetting what the fuck I'm saying. All right, so yeah, we're watching this area. This red box here. So let's see, is this say we're gonna see if we can clear this area here. That's pretty much in the middle of that area. We also have like it's the middle of this price action, and we use as support here these wicks here. So I'm liking actually, let's just put it at 6,500. Yeah. So, yeah, 6,500. If you're very patient, that's the area that needs to break for me to become medium to high time frame bullish on Bitcoin again. Because if you look at, let's use the weekly here. So if you look at actually, let's use a clean chart for this. Yeah, that's better. Sometimes I just want to get rid of all the indicators and all the levels and everything, and I just want to show you guys straight up the, you know, the price action, because all you need really is price, right? So what I'm seeing right here, right? So we had this area here, right? 6,515 looks good. So obviously this area right here is gonna, you know, most probably act as strong resistance. But if we break above, I'd go long on a retest, and hopefully we'll get out of the weekly downtrend, because right now we're seeing a weekly downtrend. I would like to see this level up here to, like, this is the first major, obviously this one too. So this is the first major resistance that we need to break. Breaking above this one, and I'll start, you know, becoming interested in actually entering most of my fiat in Bitcoin, right? I would look for this area to act as strong resistance, and then this area as strong resistance. Like the 10k area will most likely be a very strong resistance, but if we break 10k to the upside, then I think that's gonna, you know, that's gonna start the real bull market, right? But right now, you guys, you gotta be very careful. You gotta have patient. You can't just be buying, like, you don't want to buy a move like this, right? I mean, that's just suicide. You gotta wait for this massive dump to, you gotta wait for price action to develop down here. And when you see price like bouncing in this area and then move up, that's your signal to enter, right? You don't want to enter right here because it's just you don't want to be buying such a massive downtrend, right? So you gotta be careful, guys. All right, so let's go back to the setup here. Yeah, I'm liking it. Might actually use these lows here as a new invalidation level. I'm gonna use that one too. So what's happening right now is we're getting reactable range EQ. If we close the hourly, which closes in about 30 minutes, if we close the hourly below 4775, I might consider moving my stop to entry. If we close down here, I might consider moving my stop down here. And I would probably take some profits here and some profits here. And after that, I'll probably wanna, have this short open in case we actually trade down to the 3K area, which is, it's down here. Damn, Bybit don't really have that much price action, so we gotta be looking at Bitsnap. All right, so yeah, so this is pretty simple, right? Close below this area. I would take some profits here, take some profits here, take some profits here, and take some profits here. That's what I'm looking at. All right, so I don't really think I have. I don't think I have much more to say. I'm gonna do some shorting requests for the Nest Club guys, and yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are safe out there, and like, you gotta protect your family and your health in times of these types of crisis. And you also have to think about your financial situation, right? Buying Bitcoin here could be it could be the best thing you've done, right? And it could also be the worst thing you've done, in case you just buy and you keep on buying down, and eventually Bitcoin is not going up in a long time, and you'll have a fat bag of Bitcoin that's on the water. So you gotta be careful, guys. You gotta be really careful, because wait a minute. Yeah, so you gotta be very careful, guys, because there's a lot of shit going on in the market right now. The Federal Reserve basically cut the rates, like, pretty much. I think this was a sign of panic. Something really big is going on in the world economy, obviously. And the market didn't really, I mean, here in Sweden too, we had like we never had this type of money being released out onto the market, and for companies to actually take a loan, like an interest-free loan, right? And it didn't really pump the market at all. We started dumping and opening, and that shit's happening all over the world. So the market is in panic, it's in fear. So you gotta be careful, guys, and Bitcoin will most likely follow the traditional market. So if the traditional markets fail, Bitcoin will most likely drop down to 3K, and that's the area that needs to hold. All right, guys, so be safe out there and take care, everyone, and see you next time.